Hey YouTube, it's Mickey Mouse Operations here. Today guys, we're going to be doing a tech tip in the shop, and it's going to be on how to clean your carburetor. Just to diagnose, see what's going on inside there. If your quad's not running properly, it's not getting the right fuel and air. I'll show you guys how to clean it out and start over fresh and make sure you're getting good clean fuel into your engine. So right here guys, put this up to the camera. Hopefully you guys can see. This is a Mikuni carburetor. It's from a 2-stroke blaster. Very similar to any 4-stroke. It's going to be about the same kind of design. But today we're going to be looking at it, showing you guys all the parts to the carburetor and how to properly clean them. So first off, there's on the outside there's going to be that air screw. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. That is the pilot screw, which is also known as the air screw. I'll take it out for you guys quickly. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver for this job, a Phillips, and possibly a little bitty adjustable wrench for the main jet. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this out quickly. So it's just a long little jet like that, if you guys can see. Just a little jet, and then there will be a little spring inside there that I'm not going to be able to get out right now. You want this jet nice and clean. Very nice and clean you want it. So that's the first thing you want to take out. And then there's nothing else on the other side of the carburetor on these. So there's a little bit of fuel coming out right now because the bowl is not completely drained, but there's 4 Phillips head screws, guys. 4 of them. So you're going to take all those out. So guys, after you take out the 4 screws, you're going to lift the bowl off the carburetor, and you're going to expose the float and jets. So just going to finish up taking all these off, get them loose. There could be 3 or 4, depending on what kind of carburetor you got. They're all kind of the same design, just a little different on how they put together. So right there, guys, got it taken off. Just going to set that off to the side. I have a semi-decent clean rag, so on these there's a little chute that you take off. This is like kind of cups the gas in there, lets it flow into the main jet. So this is what your carburetor looks like now. I'll put up to the camera here. The main jet is right here, and this here float mechanism, this is what controls the fuel and how much fuel the bowl gets. Cuts it off when it gets full. The jets on these are labeled with numbers. This is a 230 jet, which is the stock setting for a blaster. Okay guys, we had a little bit of a trouble getting the float pin out, but it's just this pin that goes in here. It was in there pretty good. We had to get a little pliers and a hammer and tap it out, but right there, that's the float pin, and then the float comes off just like that with the little fuel inlet shut off. This little guy right here. That's what controls the fuel and shuts it off. It's got a little rubberized tip on it. It's called a float needle. Anyway, it kind of just clips back on here like that. And that's that. Usually, if you get an older carburetor, this is going to be stuck in there, and the float's not even going to be able to turn to rotate. So that's the main reason, or the main cause of many quads that sit for a while that they don't run, because the float's either stuck open or stuck closed. So you got to go in there and clean it all out. Get the nasty old varnish gas and green stuff on there. It's the ethanol gas. If you don't use premium gas and you let it sit, it just builds up in there and it's just not good. Anyway, so now we're left with this main jet, which is right here on the top. I have a little bitty adjustable wrench here, guys. I just tighten it on there. If I can get it tight. And then I just loosen up, and you can take it right out. So this here was this is 230, like I said, 230 jet. They're just little tiny things. And then I usually blow through them. I don't know if you can see that through there, but now it's clean. You can see right through. You can also use a shot of carb cleaner right up in there. This little washer comes off. Usually if you can see through the entire thing through the top, you're pretty good. That should be fine. And then you can turn your main jet back in and just tighten it up slightly. You don't need much, just a little bit until you feel it gets snug. It's good, back in there. And then putting it back together is do the opposite of what you did. Also check the gasket underneath here, make sure it's all good. This one looks decent. And you can go ahead and put your float back in. Take your float pin, take it and put it back through. And there she is. So you can tell if you want to do a test, I usually blow into the fuel in. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but when I let go of the float, the air will go in, and then when I close it off, nothing gets through. So that's what you want to have. Then you know it's working properly. And then all you're going to do, after you get that all cleaned out in there, make sure you have no varnish and all that stuff in there. You don't want any varnish in there. Just going to make sure I have this right. And then you're going to put your float bowl back on, tighten all your 4 screws. You can go do that. And then you're just going to put the jet, after you clean it, back in its spot right there. Anyway, that's the basics of cleaning carburetors. Very simple. Remember, you got to remember that the float's going to be the most important thing that's going to get clogged up. Float needle's going to get stuck in there. And then after that, in the main jet, you're just going to make sure that's clean so the fuel is getting up into the engine at its fast as it can. So, and yeah. So hopefully it's helpful to you guys and you can learn something from this, because I do this a lot. We have all kinds of bad carburetors, especially lawnmowers. Got to always clean them. And this will save you a lot of time. You don't have to pay money for somebody else to do it. You can do it yourself. So thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.